All right, so here we are at Brittany's house. Hi, Brittany.
Hi.
What are we gonna do today, Brittany?
We're gonna start putting together my PC.
All right, you've been wanting to build this thing for many moons. Then
A few years.
Yep. So you saved up your money, and finally
graphics cards started coming down in price and were more available, so I got a GeForce RTX 3070. So
awesome.
yeah.
The last computer I built was probably wow. The last computer I built was probably around the year you were born.
Well, that's quite a while.
1998. All right. So it's been, and before that I had actually 2 computer stores in western Colorado, one in Grand Junction and one in Delta. And I had built thousands, that's not an exaggeration, of computers. Now, Brittain is going with an AMD, right?
No, I actually got Intel.
You did go with Intel?
Yeah.
Okay, what made you change your mind?
It was just what Jacob picked for me.
Oh, it's just what Jacob picked.
Yeah, he said this was better than what he had chosen from, because the other parts list he made for me was, 2020, so.
Oh, okay.
It's been a couple of years.
All right, so you went with Intel.
Yeah.
So I honestly am so out of touch with what any of these specs mean today, but I know that I sold tons of AMDs back in the late 90s, and it bit my butt. And I have been anti-AMD for a long time. She was originally going with a Ryzen 5.
Yeah.
But it looks like she's went with an i7. So I'm not sure how that actually compares or not. Nowadays I run Apple Silica. I don't build computers. I've built so many computers that it's not something I would enjoy other than I'm doing this with my daughter, so I enjoy that. So I was just looking at this because I had read things showing that the Ryzen 5 could be on par on with the M1 and sometimes faster from some of the things that I was looking at. And I had an i9, which I knew was definitely slower than my M1. That i9 was garbage. When I think i7, I think old, right? But apparently not. This thing's got 12 cores. See, I don't know what this means. 8 performance cores, 4 efficient cores, 20 threads. The last time I built a computer, if it was hyper-threaded, if you had like 4 cores, hyper-threaded would be 8. I don't even know how you come up with 20 out of 12. You would think it would be doubled, but apparently, and this doesn't make sense, even if you had 8, say you only had hyper-threading on, I guess I don't understand how any of this works anymore. Everything has changed. It's all different. But yeah, that looks, I think those are pretty impressive numbers. So that's the CPU she's got right here. It's this guy. So that's what she's building it on. So this is the CPU cooler. So this is just a heat sink and fan, right? Not like liquid cooled or something. All right. Now Jacob had one that was liquid cooled, didn't he?
Yeah.
All right. How much was this SSD?
I think it was like
$100 for 2 terabyte?
I think it was on sale.
Wow.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It might have been 100 to 150.
Yeah, no need even wasting your time with a hard drive, honestly. And if you really need more, get external storage or something, right? An 850 watt power supply, CPU, 2 terabyte, heat sink and fan, good old Asus board. Is Tyann aboard anymore? Does Tyann make good boards? Have you heard of Tyann? Tyann Tomcat. I sold a bunch of those in the day. Asus was another board that I sold a bunch of in the day. And this is an Asus, so this a NVIDIA card, right? Okay. NVIDIA chipset with a NVIDIA chipset. All right.
And since I didn't have a lot of RGB, I got this case that has it on the front there.
Okay.
And it came with three fans, so I didn't have to get any additional fans to put in there.
Awesome.
So
how much was this case? Seems pretty good build.
Like, I don't know, again, like 100.
Nothing opens up on the front, does it?
No.
Yeah. When I built computers, the front bay would open and you had things like floppy disk and CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. Actually, I don't think, was DVD a thing in 98?
I don't know.
I can't even remember. Yeah, I think it was. So yeah, now they don't even have anything in front. There's nothing to access. You have your USB. You can put a thumb drive there. That's all you need. Very simplified compared to what it used to be. My quesadillas and put my Ortega sauce on it. And what did you make in the quesadilla, Brittany? This lunchtime computer build special?
Fat-free cheddar cheese and mozzarella.
And what else, Brittany? Instead of yogurt, instead of sour cream?
Instead of sour cream, I use non-fat Greek yogurt.
What else, Brittany? Is that it?
Salsa, barbecue sauce is good. Can you stop, please?
Brittany loves her plants. Look at all her plants. When she was gone for a while, she had me take care of her plants, and I didn't kill them.
I think you did.
I didn't. I might have. She even had this Lego one, and I didn't manage to kill it either. So the last time I used to build these things, you had to do all kinds of jumpers on the board and tell what kind of CPU and all that. It doesn't look like you need to do any of that anymore. These kids got it so easy. All you have to do is put the CPU on the board, and apparently you'll configure it all on CMOS or at the end here. Alright, so this is spring loaded, so they said don't let it snap, because it can damage the board.
Don't get it out.
Well, this does the spring like... Okay, yeah, there is a little bit. So push down.
Yeah.
Push down and then like that. They said just don't let it snap.
Okay.
I'm going to take this and flip it up. I assume this has to come out, right?
It'll come out when you close it.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That just pops off afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Alright, so they've changed things a bit since the 20-some years ago I've done it. So it's actually a physical marking instead of the shape of the chip. Used to be they'd cut an angle off the chip and you'd know that was the direction to go. But now they actually put a little triangle, so there's a little triangle right there. Right there. And then on the chip, you have a little triangle right there, and you want to make them point to the same direction. It's all lined up all the way around. I assume it wouldn't go in if it wasn't.
Okay.
Alright, so now you put that down.
Do you have to... Okay. This scares me. I just put it down.
Oh, yeah, but maybe you're not supposed to be pushing on the plastic while you do it. Did they usually take this off before?
It pops off.
Oh, it already has. Okay.
That wasn't as satisfying as the pop off.
You want me to do it, or you got it? Your nails are getting in the way. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So we'll see later if we screwed it all up.
All right.
It has a little notch, so it has this little divider, and it's off-centered, so you can only put the memory in one way. So
All right.
stick the memory in.
All right. I have Vengeance LPX Corsair RAM. I have 32 gigs.
Cool. Next, we're going to attempt to assemble the cooling fan. So some very interesting observations so far. When I used to build these things, it was all about figuring out, you know, the jumper settings for, or dip switches, depending on the board, for the CPU type, the memory type, the hard drive type, all that kind of garbage. Well, you had to, not the hard drive type, because you had a hard drive controller. That was before IDE. Well, no, IDE was out by 98. But in any case, it doesn't seem like you need to worry about all that. The most complex part of this so far is figuring out how to mount the stupid fan on the CPU. So I think we're going to go ahead and install the memory first, because it looks like there's going to be very little clearance between the heatsink and the memory. So we're going to go ahead and get the memory installed now. Yep.
Do I pull these back, or do I just...
Yeah, you used to pull them back, but I don't...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's not... Did you just pull back on one side? Looks like it must just pull back on one side.
Okay.
You just anchor it down. You used to pull back on both sides, but it looks like you'll anchor this side in first. And that notch looks like it's lining up, so you should be okay. Yeah, that looks like right. And then when you push down, it should lock in place. Want me to do it? Or you got it?
I'm scared that I'm pushing too hard.
Oh, let me see. It used to require some effort. That looks right. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
There you go.
I'll
So
try the rest of it. Does it look like it's lined up from that end? 'Cause I can't see.
yeah, you got it. I mean, you'll know if it doesn't push in, you'll know. You don't. It requires a little bit of force, but not like you won't break at force. Get this side in first. There you go.
Well, it's not.
I can't see that. It's so hard to see.
I'm having a hard time. Hold on.
You need to
Just
go more
stop.
straight. More straight.
Stop it with your hand over here.
There you go. Now down till it locks. There you go. Perfect. Awesome. Now.
Now let me just. I know this one isn't mounted right, but yeah, that's good.
It's going to be tight, but it's going to clear.
That works.
Yep. So basically on this fan, on this heatsink, it has a side that says caution. This side goes towards the board. I know you can't see that, but there's words on it. So just make sure you use the side that says caution. That's going to go towards the board. There's a triangle pattern on the head of these legs here, and you point the triangle pattern onto this based on the pin format. So the 1700 is position 2, so the triangle needs to be pointing out. So I assume the triangle is the same. Yeah, so the triangle needs to be pointing out. So basically you're going to put one of the points out this direction, not this way, but that way. Hope that makes sense. Really hard to get in camera, but basically that's it. All right, we're going to go ahead and continue with the next steps. And then you take these little clips after she gets the pin in place with in our case, the top of the triangle pointing out, the base of the triangle pointing in, and then one of the 6 clips, and she fastens it on. There you go.
I hate these nails. I can't pick anything up.
And we are putting with the caution side up, right?
Well, you're the one who flipped this the way that I...
All right, so I had Brittain take all that off and flipped it over the right way, so the caution is now up, or will be up when it's finally attached.
So we just set it, flip it all the way over and set it on its back?
Yep.
On its front, I mean. All right. So, I guess...
So right now, caution will be facing down because we have the board upside down. There you go. So now we need to figure out what spacers we need to use on this. How do we determine that? Alright, the instructions say in our case, because we have the LGA 1700, we use the blue spacers. So Brittain's getting them all ready to put onto the mount.
Do you just... that?
Yep, I guess there's not a top or bottom, you just set them on. Alright. So there are 3 little holes that you can line up this for, and in our case position 2 requires it to be basically in the center here, right?
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure you use the same alignment on all of it so it's not, so it looks completely even. Not like that. Where is it? I don't have it. Not uneven like that, but even like that. Now it wants you to put these little thumb screws. Let's see how it fits.
Not quite sure.
It clears. So we need to remove the fan. Okay, so pull it back towards you. No, straight back and then out. There you go. There you go. Perfect.
Alright.
Okay, time to put the thermal paste on. I gotta say, I think the cooling system is the most complex part of this whole build, to be honest.
Okay,
So 5 small dots total. 1 or 2 to 3 to 4 millimeters in the middle. That looks good.
Does it?
Yeah. And about 2 millimeters. Just tighten down evenly, so get it just close on both sides and then snug it down.
Okay.
Didn't want to scratch the table or the case, so I put a nice static inducing blanket down. Seemed like the right thing to do. Not, but we'll just be careful. Now her case only came with 1 faceplate, so that was easy to install. I've just got it sitting in here right now to see how everything fits. Looks like we've got it all is going to fit just fine. So I know we need to put the little stanchions on, or the pedestal things in place to mount the board down, but we've got plenty of room in this case. That's nice. Yeah, fits very well. You got a lot of room. Cool. Here's the 2 control wires for the fans, and this is where they plug in here. In the manual, it'll show you where the fan headers are, and these are the 2 for the CPU. One was CPU and one was CPU optional, so those are the 2 fans that we've got connected. Okay, got to get this other side of the case off, and there's your parts that we're missing. All that we need should be in there, and the world will be a wonderful place again. There we go.
There ain't no Velcro. That's it, that's the Velcro.
Oh, they've already got it. They've already got it all tied up for you. Okay, so this is quite the change since the last time I've hooked up a power supply. We've got tons of things here. So, peripherals, hard drives, CPU 1, CPU 2. I guess this is power for your video. But then this is for the motherboard, so I'm confused of where this comes into play and that comes into play. On the motherboard, I only see, like, maybe this is for 2 different Maybe this is for, maybe it's for 2 different types of motherboards?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So it looks like I found that on the motherboard. I didn't find this. So back in the old days, they used to have 2 wire sets that came from the power supply, and they both connect to the motherboard. So that has changed. Let's see what we got here. We have a socket here, which I believe is the CPU power. Then we have motherboard power over here. And so that I think we've clarified. And this cable right here is for USB. That one is for audio, which is labeled. This one, which is not labeled, is for the RGB. That one is not labeled, but it can only go on one place on the board. So we should be able to be okay with that. And then we've got the power switch and LED positive and negative for power. So that should be pretty self-explanatory. The only ones I'm not 100% sure about is the actual power sockets. Pretty sure I got them right, but not 100%. And then we got 2 that will go to the VGA for the video card. Jacob said he'd swing by and just verify, because I don't want to be the one to fry my daughter's motherboard. If I'm wrong. Pretty sure I'm right, but I just want another set of eyes on these just to be sure. I remember the first time I bought a 60 megabyte RLL hard drive. RLL was the interface type. And my brother said, "What are you gonna do with all that space? That's just stupid that you spent like $400 on that." It literally weighed like 10 pounds, and it was about the size of these 2 heat sinks. If you took this heat sink and stacked it on that heat sink, that's how big that drive was, approximately. And yeah. So there she goes. That's 2 terabyte, and she paid like $150 for it. So we'll go ahead and put this in. And actually, you know what? Before we put everything in place, we could connect stuff. Go ahead and give me that power one that we took off, because that one's going to be
the 8-pin.
Yeah, the CPU one.
Yeah, so that's actually, you're right. That's probably the only one I recommend plugging in before installing the motherboard.
Looks like
everything else is pretty accessible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because all of those have like little pegs here.
All right.
It feels right, and it's starting to get tight. Then you're good.
Yep. All right. Oh, actually, we do have all these stanchions in now because I moved them.
Yep.
So we'll need 5, 6, 7.
Oh, 7. You need 2 more?
Yeah. Let me get these first.
Audio.
What?
I cracked my neck and it felt loud in my head.
Oh.
Where's the queso?
Oh my god. No.
What do you mean? No? That was the best part of that video.
Oh, is that the one when Josh was...
Yes. We were building clays and I said, queso. That was a good time. Better days.
For real.
Oh.
All right,
honestly.
so
And then here's
I'm going
2
to
more.
get those 2 in there.
I don't know how I got it in, but it's...
You really got it?
I think so.
Or is it going to be deceitful like when I thought I had it?
No, that feels good. Yeah, that's good. That's in.
All right. Get a magnetic screwdriver before you do this.
Honestly, I fix it. I don't think the screwdriver's long enough. I'm hitting the case. I'm hitting the case. I can probably come in from this side.
No, you can't.
Oh! That is painful.
I think we should just skip it, Brady.
Yeah, like I said, you're already
we've literally got 6 of them holding it. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Let me just try one more time.
I believe in you, Brittain. You can do it.
I don't. Leave it.
Thanks. Oh, it's gonna fall off.
Which one is it? Oh, you're totally fine.
It's in there, but it's not tight.
That's
so
crazy.
now
We
it's
might be able to get it up and down. See if it's...
Brittain's too short. You want us to turn the case around, Brittain?
No.
No.
Let's see.
She just wants somebody else to hold the light. Is this what every dad feels like in the garage?
Pretty much.
Light right there.
Looks like it's
Oh, use that other screwdriver.
the little one.
No, the long thing they gave you that has no this.
Well, it's a little bit.
Is it longer? Will it
yeah, but
reach?
it's a little. I don't know if it's too fat.
One quarter a turn at a time. Oh!
Great, I've ruined everything.
No, it's totally fine.
Patience.
These are way more resilient than people think.
You want me to do it?
Wait, just
Now you got the hard part done?
stop. Sure, if you want to.
All right, here. Now that you got the hard part done, I will try it.
All right. I can't see nothing anyway.
I can't see it.
All right, so.
This is a lot of good footage.
But it's footage nonetheless.
All right, there. Now I'm on it.
1/4 of a turn. Let's
I
go.
keep my hand on it. Guide it back.
I hope I didn't put it in there crooked.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't think so. It feels like it's pretty. It's going pretty freely.
You didn't believe
it's
in me,
going.
Dad.
I didn't believe in you.
None of us believe it.
Yeah.
We're all just kidding.
I
We
think
believe and
I
support you in everything
I
you
think
do.
I only have
Yeah.
about 10 more quarter turns to go,
Okay.
More.
I was going to start to get
or half turns actually. It's a little,
Windows 10
You should probably start that.
or
Have you
Windows.
done
should she get 10 or 11?
I would recommend 10 because it's been around longer. 11 has got... They've ironed out most of the performance issue bugs. But that doesn't mean there's not any more.
Which is working better for games, home or professional? Probably.
Home 10. Home 10 specifically.
Okay.
Home 11, they're really close.
Got it. We got it.
Super
Now,
anal
is
is
this
pretty
one for sure tight?
Yep.
That one's done. Okay, we got all 7.
Nice. That's
Awesome.
better than mine. I've got 8. I've got 6.
All right, so now we get to hook up all the rest of the
Alright,
cables.
then I guess I'll get Windows 10 instead.
All right, go get Windows 10.
And just, you said home is fine?
All right, so here's just a quick overview. We got power, we got a fan right back there, power switch and power LED right down here, and then we got RGB right here, we got USB 3 here, we got USB 2 up here, we got the HD audio over here, we got another fan back over here, right there, we got the CPU power up there.
Peel off the front.
Da 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 da.
Oh God. It's on there really.
Come on, pretty.
Side too.
Pretty.
These nails don't work well.
Are they yours?
No, they're fake nails.
Oh, come on. Here, just a second. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Please don't drop it, Jacob.
I'm not
will
that
cry.
bad. Alright.
Can you handle it? Can you handle it?
This is not
Oh,
upset.
Very.
this is the
This is
was
not
not-
very satisfying.
this
was
is the
not.
least satisfying plastic peel I think I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, can you do it?
Yeah.
Can you? She's doing it. Almost.
Nice.
Okay. The fact that neither of those really is.
Alright, so
It's a pathetic thing, Brittain. It's a pathetic thing.
new thing is that and this guy.
All right, so we're gonna try to power this thing up and see if we can fry things.
Don't say that. Jeez, I spent a lot of money on this. Stop!
So we've got the GPU slotted in, supposedly. It feels like it's in. It's not coming out. We've got two 8-pins. We've got our 8-pin CPU, 12-pin. Everything's good. You did the front panel connectors, so this should work.
Is there?
Not that I know where it is.
How do we know if this is?
There's just a switch.
It's got a
Is
switch.
there a light or anything?
Nope.
Nope, it's all going to be
we'll
up
hit
here.
this button,
Do you want
and then
the-
we'll know. Either it will explode or it won't.
Okay, here we go. There's all the fans turning.
Yep. So
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And there's the one on the
Yep.
one on top isn't turning, is it?
that's fine. We can touch.
It's not turning.
It's probably this. Oh geez. It's probably one of these. Yeah. It's not turning. We can fix that.
Okay.
What happened?
Huh?
Why did it turn off?
Don't worry. It's memory training. So all of the.
What is it
RAM
doing?
chips-
And there's another fan up here. Is this one?
That one's turning.
Yeah, it's turning. Hear that?
I do hear
That's my
that.
finger.
Okay.
So right now, what it's doing is RAM training. Is that blue? Yeah, it's blue.
So we should be seeing a picture, shouldn't we?
Soon. It could do this for a minute and a half. It just really depends.
See, back in my day, you had to throw jumpers.
Yeah, and one of
for
them came
everything.
in there. One of them came in there, but we're not doing anything that requires a jumper. Is that blue? Yeah, it
I feel
is.
like you're moving things around awfully rough.
Britain. Okay. Okay.
We got light.
Please check your input. Please check
Oh,
your input.
that's-
Yeah, it's not good. So,
Is
or
this
it's not that it's
plugged in?
bad. Yeah, it's plugged in.
Okay.
It's plugged into the GPU, which has lights.
Oh,
There we go.
there we go.
Let's go. Do you have a keyboard?
Yeah.
See, I knew you were just plugged into the wrong thing. New CPU installed. Please enter setup to configure your system. F1. No keyboard, so it's going to sit here until she gets back. You only have one hard drive, right?
Yep.
Okay, yep. So it sees it. We have 3 hubs, which is totally fine. 1200K.
You mean SSD?
Yeah.
Yep. 32 gigs of RAM. That's DDR4. That's pre-overclocked. Good. Yeah, we're good to go.
Just putting the video card in this reinforced slot, which is where it really should go. You can't hardly get it out if you ever needed to without practically breaking things, which is not good. And so I just figured it'd be best just to move it here and then reinforce it, put a stanchion on it. There's just not enough clearance with this heatsink really it's putting too much tension on things. I think this is better. So now we are all powered up. We do have all the fans finally working. It turns out there was something blocking the fan way down below. It was just being blocked, so I cleared the wire out. Again, we need to do all our cable management still. Right now, let's get this thing booted and start installing Windows. I don't know how good this keyboard and mouse is I bought for Brittain. I picked it up at Tuesday mornings for $32.
Yes.
So, but I mean, it'll work for a starter keyboard, I guess. So, in theory, it should be set to boot off the USB stick automatically. So we got Windows 10 Home on the USB stick.
Yeah.
There it goes. That's it, Brittany.
Alright.
So you just boot up. The default is to boot off that.
All right.
And so let's, you want to do it?
Sure.
All right, so basically we're not going to record all this. It's just going to go ahead and put that license key in that you got. I can type it as you...
Let me get.
So this motherboard has a way to install all its drivers automatically once you have internet. It does have a LAN driver, apparently, that Windows can access, but of course you have to have wired Ethernet for it to work. So we went online and got the wireless driver. We just got that installed, and once we got that installed, it's going ahead and installing this Armory Crate software that's apparently part of Asus. And so this should take care of all your other drivers except for the video, of course. We weren't able to put the video card in the reinforced section. So I read the reviews on several, and this seemed like it had the best review. And so you'll be able to find that on my site, thejohnnyoshow.com/promotions, and you'll see links to all my Amazon stuff. And so you'll find this in there if you are interested in a graphic card stabilizer. This one actually uses adhesive to hold it. It doesn't use magnets or anything. And it was the best reviewed that I could find that people were using to stabilize their video card. Right now I've just had Brittain keep her computer on her side until we could get that installed. We'll do our cable management and get all that done. We're definitely leaving this wiring management plate off the back. It definitely is a little too cramped. The video card comes out right here and it's just not going to clear that. So we got our wires kind of out of the way here.
You press this button, it changes it.
Oh, but shouldn't it work with software?
I know, but at least...
But now you know how to do it. All right, so that was the last question. We have it hooked up right. All you have to do with this case, what's this case called, Britty?
It's the Be Quiet Pure Bass 500DX.
So you held that button right there,
Yeah,
right?
I just held it, and I kept holding it down until it changed. To what it was.
Until it changed. So you hold that button will cycle through the different things, but if you hold it long enough, it'll actually then be allowed to be controlled by the motherboard, assuming you've got it all hooked up right. So there you go. There we go. So we do have everything connected correctly. And it says it's 36 degrees. Hey Siri, what is 36 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
36 degrees Celsius is 96.8 degrees.
Still, so it's hard to tell, but it should be cooling okay. So here's the stand we got. And it is nice and sturdy. Works really, really well. And I think it was a good purchase. So I think that's going to work very well. So now we're going to put the covers back on. All right, so notice we have the computer off. We don't want Brittain shorting anything out while she pulls this off. We don't want to run a bunch of static electricity frying things.
You need to...
Well, you're having better success than you did on the other stuff.
Yeah.
There it is. All right, let's power it up, Britty.
All right.
That looks cool. I don't think you can actually see it in the camera, though. We'll see.
Okay.
So there's breathing. Oh, that's cool. Let me look at the front.
This one's to music, so...
Pop, 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 pop. It doesn't work. Maybe it has to be in the sound card. I wonder
Yes,
how.
I'm sure it has to be. There isn't a mic, so...
Yeah.
Adaptive color.
How does that work?
I think it's based on maybe what's on my screen.
Okay, change your computer background and see if the color changes. Or red. So yeah, now it's red. Now
It's a little bit pink.
yeah. So now change it to green.
Yeah.
So it's changing the best it can.
And smart.
Whatever smart means.
It's the temperature.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
So it's good.
Yeah, that's cool. So this changes from your temperature. All right, so LEDs work. Everything's working.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Everything is working. All right, let's do some bench tests. What was the frames per second?
130-ish.
Okay.
Okay, well, now it says temperature is 62.
62. Well, it's running it right now. You started it?
Yeah, it's
Okay. All right.
65.
All right. Let's see what it does. All right. So there's our 137, and was it 137 before? Or?
So around that.
And it's 71 degrees Celsius. All right. Well, that's still pretty impressive. What was that total scores on that old one? Do you still have that up?
On Jacobs, it was, of course I closed it.
No, that was Jacobs, or was that?
2293.
All right. So yeah, you're definitely blowing the doors off Jacobs' old computer. How many years ago was that built?
2017
2017.
or 16. 2017 is when we posted it, so
Okay, that's probably about when it was built then.
yeah.
All right. Well,
I think it was the end of 2016 that he built that computer, so.
all right. Yeah, definitely kicking butt.
Well, I'd hope so, since we're a few years beyond that.
Yeah, that's plenty of speed then. Awesome. Then you got about, we'll just say $2,000 into this, right?
Yeah, that's all together.
There you go. And after running all those benchmarks, the CPU itself is at 35?
Yep.
35. Cool. I honestly am so out of touch with what any of these specs mean today, but I know that I sold tons of AMDs back in the late 90s, and it bit my butt. And I have been